Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to start with Python. So I'll be uploading the videos as per the topics. So for this video we would be learning about variables. Now before starting with variables, I just want you to download any Python editor. So I'm using Visual Studio Code for this video. And if you want me to upload a video on how to download Visual Studio Code, you can let me know in the comment section. Now let's get started with variables. So, what are variables? Variables are a way of storing data or an information. So, now, like how to add variable in Python. So, I'll be adding a variable in Python. Suppose the variable name I'll keep it as x, and the value of x, suppose it's 1, and we have defined a variable. Now, let's check the variable. So, I'll just print x, and now I'll just save it up, and let's run the code. So yeah, we can see that the value of x, that was 1, it's been shown over here. Now suppose I take another variable z, and the value of z I keep it as 2. So I'll just print z, and now let's check it. So it's saying 1 and 2 because the value of x is 1 and value of z is 2. Now suppose I have given the value of x1 over here and I've printed x. Now I again say that the value of x is equals to suppose 3, and then I print x again. So now what will it do? First of all, like the value of x was 1, so it will print the value of x1 over here. And then after that, we said that x is equals to 3, so we printed x. So earlier x was 1, so it will print x as 1 over there. And then we changed the value of x to 3. Basically we modified it. So then it will print 3. So it must be like 1, 2 and 3. Now let's check it. I'll just save it, and I'll run it. Yeah, so it's showing 1. So 1 and 3 both are the value of x. Earlier 1 was the value of x, then I changed it to 3. So I had just print x after 1. So it's showing the value of 1 as x, and then I changed it to 3. So after that I had printed x again. So it's showing the value of x 3. So that's how it works. Now whenever like we have a variable as a number like 1, 2, 3, like all these ones that we have added over here are known as integers. Now we have decimals. So how to add a decimal? So now suppose I say that I have a variable float. So float is a like we call 1, 2, 3. These are the integers. So for decimals we call it float. Now I have a variable, so I'll keep the variable as float. So I'll say that float is equals to 1.1, and uh, then I'll just print float. Now like let's check it. So we want that it should display 1.1. Yeah, see. So that's how you can add a float. Now let's take another example with float. Suppose I say that I have a variable that's var. So it's the variable, and var is equals to 1.3. Now what I'll do is I'll just uh, print var, that's the variable. So I wanted to show the value of var first and then the value of float. So before like just executing it, I'll comment up the other examples, and yeah, so now let's check it. Yeah, so it's first showing the value of var as we printed the value of var first and then float. Now the next topic that we have is like what's a string. So like string are those words, any word that you add is known as the string. Now let's see an example. Now suppose I have a variable string, and I say that string is equals to word. So you must have noticed that I have given double brackets over here, and I didn't give it above. So for the numbers, those are the integers and the floats. We don't need to add like those double commas, but for a string we do need to add it. The string value is word, and now I'll print string. Yeah, I have printed string, and again I'll just comment up the other examples so that it's easy and clear for us. Now let me just execute the code again. Yeah, so I printed string and it's showing the value of string as word. Now what if I want to add an float or integer to it? So how can I do it? It's simple. We just have to add that word, because that's the word to it. On a string we are adding a float. So it would be like we are adding the name of the string and then plus. So over here you can keep the integer. Suppose like I add the integer 1, and it would be giving an error. Why? Because when we are like using any integer or float with a string, we have to give double quotes to the integer or the string also. So like suppose I have added 1 over here, and now it would be executed properly. Or suppose I added 1.1, then also I had to add those inverted commas. So I'll just keep it 1 and I'll save it. Yeah, so it's showing word 1. Suppose I add 1.5 and I'll save it again and I'll execute it. Now over here it's showing word 1.5. So that's how it works. Now we have understood that how to add a global variable. So now what's a global variable? So the variables which are not inside a function are known as the global variables. Now how to add a local variable? So adding a local variable is also pretty easy. So I'll just comment up all the examples. Yeah, now let's see how to add a local variable. So to add a local variable we need to like give it a function. So I'll say that define a function. So I'll give the function name. Suppose I'll give the function name as var2. Okay, so that's the function name, and then I just give it round bracket and then colon. Now in the next line I say that I want to define a variable. That's variable name is new variable. That's new var, and then new var, that's suppose is equals to world. Okay, now new var is equals to world. In the next line I'll just say that I want it to return. Now you don't need to understand a function, so just understand that how we can add a local variable in our code. Okay, so now it won't run now, because how to run it, we need to add the print command to it. So now I'll add the print command to it. Print. Now what shall it print? I want it to print like that variable, that's new var. So I'll say print new var, and still it won't be printed because we need to close the function. So how shall I close it? I'll say that var2. Yeah, so I have to close the bracket. I just like put var2 and those two round brackets. So now this when we test it, it should give us world. Okay, so I'll just save it up, and now let's test it. Yeah, so it's giving us world. Now suppose like I have given it a variable, that's new var. Yeah, so suppose I say that print new var. So what it'll do is it'll give me an error. So let's check. Yeah, it's giving me an error. Now why? Because this new var is now not a global variable, it is a local variable. Now what's a local variable? The local variable is that's inside a function, and when it's inside a function, it can only be print inside the function only. Like you cannot print it randomly outside the function. So that's why we are getting the error. So this is how to add like global variable and local variable, and this is like all about variables. So that's all for today's video. I'll upload a new video soon. So till then, stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe the channel if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching.
I played it innocent, a feel of discontent.